Yes, so a new Met Police policy on handcuffing tells officers to ask themselves 44 questions before arresting a suspect and details the procedure in a child-style ABC guide. The mammoth decision process is laid out in full in this new 25-page document published by Scotland Yard. So the questions include things like, what could go wrong? What could go well? What is happening? What do I not know? Other advice to mull over includes, do I need to take action immediately? And what would the victim or community affected expect me to do in this situation? I think there's really just one question that needs to be asked here. Why is Met Commissioner Cressida Dick still at a job? By the time officers have run through all those questions, the criminal will be in a different postcode. They'll already be burgling the next house. This list of ridiculous questions will put doubt in the mind of police officers right at the very moment when they need clarity and certainty, i.e. mid-arrest, mid-confrontation. I can see it now, can't you? The bobbies on the beat, hauled before a tribunal after arresting someone. So, officer, are you actually admitting that during the course of detaining that machete-wielding drug kingpin, you didn't ask yourself question number 25, which clearly states that you have to consider if there is any research evidence on this matter? That's actually question number 25, by the way. Is there any research evidence? It comes after question 24, which is what legislation might apply. You would have thought that might be up there towards the top, but anyway. And before, naturally, question 26. If decision-makers have to account for their decisions, will they be able to say they were proportionate, legitimate, necessary and ethical? Hardened criminals are going to be laughing at this, aren't they? Also featured is an alphabet-themed guide to handcuffing that warns to always ask the suspect if the cuffs are too tight. So there's even a primary school-style guide for police officers when it comes to this kind of stuff. So it's an ABC. So check this out. A, apply the handcuffs. B, be sure to ask the subject if they're too tight. C, check the handcuffs for tightness. D, double lock the handcuffs. E, evidence. Tell the suspect why they're being handcuffed. And then they presumably just sit around in a circle and sing nursery rhymes before deciding which one takes the school hamster home for the weekend. I mean, this stuff is just absolutely bonkers, isn't it? A lot of this has come about as a result of anger amongst certain ethnic groups over the rate of stop and search. So, there were 558,973 stop and searches carried out in the year to March 2020. This is, of course, under the new PACE laws. Well, not the new PACE laws, ones from 1984, ironically, actually. And in England and Wales, that is. So according to the Home Office figures, that's that. Just 13% of those, of that year's stop and searches, led to an arrest. That's down from last year's 15%. So the increase in stop and searches was larger for white people in 2021 than it was for black and Asian and other ethnic minority people as well. But BAME people were stopped at a rate of 4.1 times higher than those who were white, which is a similar rate to the previous year. This is according to that same report. And the rate of black people who were stopped and searched per 1,000 of the population was at its highest since 2014. That was at 54, compared with 35 in 2014. So, this is the highest number of stops and searches as a whole since 2013 and 2014, but it's still below the peak of 2010 and 2011, where you essentially couldn't move for being stopped and searched. Now, there could be a few explanations for this. One is that the police force is institutionally racist. Well, I don't particularly buy that myself. I think there will be racist police officers. There are racists everywhere, aren't there? But I don't genuinely believe that there's a racist core right at the very heart of our police force. There are, unfortunately, various socio-economic factors that can lead to people, especially from a new immigrant background, living in some areas with higher crime rates, greater deprivation, etc., as they make the first step on their route to a better life and future. This can lead, naturally, to more stop and searches. Now, it's a very difficult job being a police officer. They won't always get it right. There will be bad police officers. There'll be thick police officers. But there'll also be brilliant ones. I don't think that we should infantilise them. I'll say it again. Perhaps instead of Cressida Dick getting her police officers to ask 44 questions before nicking a thug, she should, instead, be questioning her own position.